Got it and done. Peace and greetings to you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco in Northwestern Mexico. How are you? Guys, welcome to our AstroCivics Sunday. All right, it's number 58 for our Holy Koran Devotional Countdown. We're at chapter 16. All righty, chapter 16 has 27 verses, or for those of us that practice, adult chamber type language for ourselves. Degree 16 has 27 minutes to it. And I am here with our magnificent and beloved brother in whom we are well pleased, and he is
Islam, peace and love, people, Pazzi and Moor, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Si yo soy Shanalim El, I am. Soy Hamano Shanalim El. You already know that all is well, but my favorite part, bro. My ears get the vibrating when, it's time to do my favorite part. What was that appellation, bro?
What? Always fun, guys. We're going to jump right into this. Let's just knock it out. We're not going to waste any time, guys. All right. We'll go and screen share, bring right up. Moorish Holy Temple of Science, administrative functions. All right, pages 48 and 49. Of course, on 48, we see handsomely standing Dugard in his Moorish Sharif Fez and Abba as Prophet Noble Ali, founder, right, for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, adopting as its corporate name Moorish Science Temple of America, as it is written there on page 49 under our authority, all righty, which has been filed with the county recorder for Cook County out there in the Midwest near Illinois State Republic. All righty, so for those of us that really do comprehend this thing and do our our best in being true and faithful, sincere, true and faithful, because we see a lot of people have gotten their hands on this and they're tearing themselves up by trying to nigger up the process, as far as people healing themselves, meeting Prophet Noble Ali in his literature, being centered with Prophet Noble Ali. Honestly, me meeting Prophet Noble Ali in his literature is one of the best things. There are many really great things that happen in my life. One of those really great things is meeting Prophet Noble Ali in his literature and being able to see these things where I'm not, pimping with more science, where I'm not selling packages and being slick with people with more science, or conveniently being more American for certain benefits and then trying to, add other things to it to try to, we just got to do what we got to do. I'm so glad that I met Prophet Noble Ali in his literature and continue to meet him in his literature, which is what we do every time when we read his divinely prepared literature, any literature that's within the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, and any other, literature that really holds him in the proper light. All righty. I get it. A lot of people nowadays have some unresolved issues with inside themselves. So they try to turn Prophet Noble Ali into someone who they try to call a polygamist, or claim that he took on, being matrimonially obligated to a woman much younger than him, all types of things where it's just like, sometimes I think to myself, like, have you even met Prophet Noble Ali in his literature on a positive note? Was there anything good that you looked for when it came to Prophet Noble Ali? But what we run into is a lot of people are usually trying to take charge of the situation. All righty. Because they think it's a joke and unreal. And I'm telling you, I'm going to speak for myself. I know it's not a game. And Prophet Noble Ali is alive and well, just on another plane. He's not in our physical plane here. However, an ascended master nonetheless. I will definitely say, because there's just some things that I've experienced and I'm like, all right, man, this is nothing like that spooky sky daddy imaginary friend type stuff that people do with their dogma belief systems. You really comprehend the metaphysics and really see how it all ties together when you're looking at the civics and the astrology, cosmology, just the full metaphysics of it all. And what you actually see is, we don't comprehend as a collective people on the planet totally. We're not really comprehending what it is this planet is made to do and what we're here for. And I just think it would behoove us, to make sure we actually have a metaphysical experience so that we all can be taught and reminded about that mastery that we're here to be. Like, we're all born masters and we're all born perfect, here to properly use our will. That's it. That's all. All these things that's on this planet is just a test of how are you going to properly use your will. Are you going to make a decision to do so? You know what I'm saying? And that's it. That's all. Before we get started, any comments, Brother Sean, before we get started?
No, man, that was no, as you would say, no ad libs needed.
All right, it's long, bro. So we're going to do our invocation in this. So for this Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will be starting this out on all our presentations. All right. So we're going to go into our invocation into our Worship American prayer. Guys, I would like for you all, for those that would care to participate, extend all 5 appendages on your left hand, just the index and middle on the right. And we're going to face east. East metaphysically denotes going within, and we'll have our feet on a 45-degree angle like we see Prophet Noble Drew Ali there in the picture. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in your hearts. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, Allah the Father of the universe.
Allah the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen. All righty. That is our invocation in, guys. We're now going to continue in administrative functions and go to pages 84 and 85 for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, administrative functions. And I yield the floor to our beloved brother, and whom will well please, Brother Sean Ali Mel. Islam.
The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. We know it's coming from Administrative Functions, Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside all the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world would not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish divine and national movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali.
Islam. And we're here in the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspapers, handsomely staying in due guard, as we see photographed there again, in his Moorish Sharif, Fez, and Abbas, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And on page 13 in the Moorish literature, these particular books we're reading from are from rvbaypublications.com. Divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors order to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets and the internet. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at European. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Alrighty, so now here we are, chapter 16, right? Pilate's final offer to release Yeshua, right? Fails. He washes his hand in feigned innocence, delivers Yeshua to the Jews for execution, right? The Jewish soldiers drive him to Calvary. Look at that. Woe unto he, or woe unto them that call themselves Jews, right? A lot of people are, I'll just admit, I'm far from the indoctrinated mindset of going along and getting along and being politically correct to not offend a certain people. Once you know truth, and in a truth that people know in their different orders, lodges, whatever the case may be, Masonic, whatever, metaphysics, whatever your so-called mystical shrine thingy is, lodge membership, whatever, we already know. Since we all have the same information, we just, have different ways of, expressing our allegiance to whatever we have an allegiance to. Me, I didn't swear a death oath. I'm not a part of some freaking lodge or anything. Not knocking you guys that want to exercise your spirit in those fashions and things like that. I'm not a part of some community that just goes and takes people's stuff and then try to call it their own and then want to war over it and things like that. So at the end of the day, I know who the jewels are. I'll always be one of the many jewels on the planet, and again, I'm just speaking for myself, so it doesn't seem like I'm speaking for my brothers also, even though, pretty sure we wouldn't be brothers if we didn't have, similar mind frames or mindsets. So with that being said, it's just so apropos with all the stuff that's happening out there in the mainstream media and news. It's so interesting that we're coming across this chapter at this time. Right? So, as usual, Brother Sean's going to do the reading of the minutes for, it's 27 minutes here for degree 16, or for those that do not speak the way that we speak or don't have our comprehension like we have. We'll say it for you, so it's normal for you. Chapter 16 has 27 verses, since that's how you comprehend it. However, I am unapologetic with what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, I would much rather just people be honest. And if my honesty offends you and the tone in which I bring it and the energy that you feel with it, if that's offending you, then you're going to have to go and take that up with yourself in the mirror. All right? As the days go on, the more and more I'm really confident about what I'm here for and sharing, this information. And really, I know I'm here for self-mastery first and foremost. So I guess at best, I'm always ministering to myself first. And I trust that my cup runneth over the more and more I pour into my own and pour into myself, so to speak. What do you think, Brother Sean? Is that kind of the journey you're on in your self-mastery path, so to speak?
Yeah, just remembering past lives and just this life, and just really figuring out my mission is, and then going along with that mission regardless of any thoughts that would try to phase me out of that myself, and things that are external to myself that'll also try to work against me. It's just, being clear on the mission and really just enjoying the journey rather than so focused or fixed on the end game, and just to show that to others, but really just to show how much of it for myself is possible, rather than looking to outside of myself and to others for things. And then also just being an example for those who have, felt like things were wrong or things were different, or there was more to it than what meets the eye or what's been popularized and traditionalized as well, pertaining to like metaphysics, astrology, religion, and just all these other things in life. And I actually kind of, been asking myself that same question, like, why am I interested in all these things? What reason or purpose it is for? And it's just really self-mastery to, like you were saying, help ourselves first and foremost, but for the collective, because they need it. They need minds like us, because if you can really just look and see this, it's kind of like I get a little angry sometimes because it's like it's so easy and simple to really see things, and this is just practice after coming, out of my own mind states and just continuing to uplift myself, feed myself with positive thinking, reading, rather than just mixed up and things that really got me nowhere, but got me, cool with everyone else. But at the end of the day, my spirit was definitely calling for more. So I'm just glad to be, where I'm at and doing what we do, and just continue to do it because it's not popularized. But who cares about it being popular? Because this is, this is the wheel of the unseen, the work that we're doing. So it's been great for me, for real.
What's going on? Oh, my brother Terrell says peace and love, everyone. Mother Sahar says peaceful greetings to all, peace and love. And brother Derek Bay says peaceful greetings, everyone. Peaceful greetings to you all, brother Tyrell, mother Sahar, and brother Derek. Gratitude indeed for joining us, and the other 4 beings that are here with us at this moment, since it's 7 of us here all together. As far as the saying, who's doing. So appreciate you all, always, all the time. I know 7 Hill Star does a work that isn't glorified because it doesn't get a whole bunch of Federal Reserve notes or a whole bunch of donations coming to it. However, we still stay the course and do what we do. For me, again, speaking for myself, I love doing this. I get a joy, a real inner joy when doing these things, because 2 things are happening. Like I said, 1, ministering to myself, and then 2, we get to share our experience with it, and we're doing it in a way where we're not, going to people, trying to take from people, selling them packages, and then not helping them with, what it means or how to research the literature of it. I will say we do a lot to balance out our days because we're busy 7 days. All 7 days we're busy. So we're looking to, I know even right now, I'm just looking to better manage my schedule so I can do what I do here, as well as be able to do what we need to do to make sure certain documentation is put in so we can have certain conversations and build certain relationships so that, we can hold trustees accountable through our acknowledgement and acceptance of their trusteeship, period, and or have them removed. And that's where we need to be. New Being 11 says Islam to you also, New Being 11. All right. Brother Sean, I yield the floor to you, Brother Islam.
Oh, we got to do the, we skipped the one part.
Yeah. Okay, so as usual, Brother Sean's going to, he's going to read. Yeah, I didn't finish that. He's going to go through all the quote unquote verses, all 27 of them, and I will do my normal serious type of ad-libbing, right? So we're gonna make sure that happens, and I yield the floor to our beloved brother in whom we well please, Brother Sean Ali Mel.
Islam. Here we go. 1, a superstitious people are the Jews. They have a faith that they have borrowed from the idol worshippers of other lands. That's a
tough first sentence. That's a tough first. That one just went really hard. Like this isn't like a book that's against people that's calling themselves Jews. It's showing you that there's an energy that comes with those that call themselves Jews. It puts them in a mindset pertaining to superstition. Okay, I yield, man. Bruh, that's a hard line.
Came out with a good
Christ.
punch.
Go ahead, bro. I yield. Yeah.
Right. Superstitious people are the Jews. They have a faith that they have borrowed from the idol worshippers of other lands, that at the end of every year, they may heap all their sins upon the head of some man set apart to bear their sins.
So in other words, it's like, that's why, you see when some people will go, well, in the Old Testament, they would sacrifice the animals for their sins, but because of the blood of Jesus, we ain't got to do that no more. You're saying that you are spiritually an accomplice to scapegoatism. And that right there is just what boggles my mind just a bit, because what I see is a people that are ignoring the negative of their positive outlook, the negative foundation in their positive outlook. You're right, Mother Sahar, not taking accountability at all. Like, what? So I guess all of what they call Palestine is now the new Jesus, I guess. Is that what's happening? Okay, anyway, I yield. Whatever those people call themselves there. Because things are so corporately, misnomered for the sake of, currency systems, fiat currency systems, blind faith currency systems. Go ahead, I yield though, bro. It's long.
The man becomes a scapegoat for the multitudes. And they believe that when they drive him forth into the wilds or into foreign lands, they are released from sins.
Is that not poltergeist? Like, isn't that like, you got these group of people, instead of calling themselves Jews, so they call themselves like I don't know, body snatchers then? Because it's like, oh, we did all this fucked up shit for a year. Let's just dump all our shame and guilt and all the shit we did wrong, and let's put it on this guy, and now we cleansed of it. What witchcraft is that?
What kind of sense does that make?
They may heap all of their withouts upon the head of some man set apart to bear their sins. Prophet Noble Drew Ali clearly said, do not put a burden on my Moors. There's so much being said in that. Don't be a superstitious people. Be accountable for yourself. And the first being you don't want to put a burden on is self. You're the first Moor that shouldn't be putting a burden on a Moor. So don't put a burden on yourself. How much of a burden you think someone that calls themselves Jews are putting on themselves and then don't even recognize it? That means that mindset is blinding and only allows them to see the outcome that's preferred, not the bloodshed that's left behind. Okay, whatever. I yield, bro. It's long. Yo, Jesus Christ! Are we on the fourth line yet? That's just 3 lines.
Yeah, it was just 3 lines,
bruh. Goodness. Good night, everybody. No, go ahead, bro. We got 24 more to go. Man, I yield, man. Mm-hmm. Jesus.
So every spring before the feast, they choose a prisoner from the prisons of the land, and by a form their own, they fain would make him bear their sins away.
Bruh. Charlie, let's really think about this. We know what's happening in mainstream media with, these modern European sons and daughters that call themselves Jewish or Jews or whatever. And now we're doing this we're doing chapter 16. We're doing degree 16. Are we 1 and 6 equals 7. I'm just putting out some things there that I don't know. Maybe it may hit for you guys differently than it hits for me. I don't know. I just know that, man, the spirit is moving. But anyway, go ahead. I yield, bro. I yield.
Among the Jewish prisoners in Jerusalem were 3 who were the leaders of a vile, seditious band who had engaged in thefts and murders and raping and had been sentenced to be crucified.
Okay. Okay. That's vile, seditious, vile and seditious band. They played the instruments of terror, it sounds like. Anyway, go ahead. I yield.
Right, gives meaning to terror squad, but anyways.
Yeah, no, right.
Barabbas and Jesiah was among the men who were to die. But Barabbas was rich, and he had bought off priests the boon to be scapegoat for the people at the coming feast, and he was anxiously and waiting for its hour to come.
Abbas, Bar, right? British Accredited Registry. Bar. Abbas is father. Fathers. So the fathers of the process. That sounds like the whole bar association. It sounds like attorneys. Bar Abbas. The legal process fathers. Because Abba is father, right? In what they call Hebrew or Hebrew, right? What we will term, better term Hebrew, right? But they call Hebrew, right? So yeah, maybe you want to go in your metaphysical Bible dictionaries for a little homework. See what Bar Abbas means when it's speaking about the consciousness tied to your endocrine system. To help you better rightfully use your will. Maybe it's a consciousness that you like, oh yeah, let me stop that shit. Let me stop this Jezia shit too. I yield, bro. Islam.
Now, Pilate thought to turn this superstition to account to save the Lord Jesus. And so he went again before the Jews and said, "You men of Israel, according to my custom, I release to you today a prisoner who shall bear your sins away. Who shall bear your sins away, typo. This man you drive into the wilds or into foreign lands, and you have asked me to release Barabbas, who has been proven guilty of the murder of a score of men."
Score.
Now,
score means 20. Yeah, score means 20. Go ahead, I yield.
Now, hear me, men. Let Jesus be released, and let Barabbas pay his debt upon the cross. Then you can send this Jesus to the wilds and hear no more of him. At what the ruler said, the people were enraged, and they began to plot to tear the Roman palace down and drive in exile Pilate and his household and his guards.
So they like, no, do our bidding. Like, this guy is the so-called leader, but the people, that's what else I want to point out in this. See how the people, this is showing that the people have the power. They've invested their power into Pilate, right? Or Pilate. It depends on how you pronounce it. It's all on however you pronounce it. And at the end of the day, now, he's going to do his feigned washing of his hands, because why? He doesn't want any problems with the people. Since he don't want problems with the people, he don't want no problems. He's gonna feignedly wash his hands, and the blood of this man is not on me, it's on you guys, type energy. But yeah, they was gonna drive him out of the parts, right? Exile, right? EXILE. X means out of, away from, off from. IL, like, I think that's like parts or portion. So out of parts, out of portion, out of place. It was like, man, we'll drive you into the wilds then, so to speak. Bro, it's fine.
When Pilate was assured that civil war would follow, if he heeded not the wishes of the mob. He took a bowl of water in the presence of the multitude. He washed his hands and said,
if he did not heed to the mob, man, that's mobocracy. Man. Well, what'd he say? What him say? What that pilot dog guy say?
Man, this man whom you accuse, the son of the Most High Allah, and I proclaim my innocence. If you would shed
I don't
his
want
blood,
no problems.
I don't want no problems.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you would shed his blood is on your hands and not on mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Jews claim, and let his blood be on our hands and on our children's hands.
Oh.
Jeez.
Whoa. I wonder if that's what those children are dealing with now. Those children dealing with what they're dealing with now as they put out there in the mainstream media. Now, again, it's mainstream media. I'm not there to witness it myself. I don't really know what the fuck is going on. I'm not witnessing it. You know what I mean? However, again, look at what we're reading and look what energy is being put out there, so-called mainstream media. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just point it out. I yield.
And Pilate trembled like a leaf. Right? It said he was over there shaking like a salt shaker in fear.
Mm-hmm.
Barabbas he released, and as the Lord stood forth before the mob, the ruler said, behold, your king. And would you put to death your king? The Jews replied, he is no king. We have no king but great Tiberius.
Look at that. Look at that. Amazing. Which means that Pilate actually had some kind of metaphysical comprehension. Honestly, you should look that up too. You should look all these terms up in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. Jews, Jewish, Pilate, Jesus, Barabbas, Jezia. Look all these things up. Tiberius, all of them. Caiaphas. Look them all up. I yield, bro.
Now, Pilate would not give consent that Roman soldiers should imbue their hands in blood of innocents. And so the chief priests and the Pharisees took counsel what to do with Jesus. Caiaphas has said.
Hold on. So the chief priests be holy people, and the Pharisees took counsel to do. They're plotting someone's death. Are we comprehending this? Like I'm just saying, man. It's the type of shit that happened to Prophet Noble Drale. You got people jealous. And they want to plot his death. I yield.
Caiaphas has said, we cannot crucify this man. He must be stoned to death and nothing more. And then the rabble said, make haste, let him be stoned. And then they led him forth toward the hill beyond the city's gates, where criminals were put to death. The rabble could not wait. They could not wait until they'd reached the place of skulls. As soon as they
called
had passed,
Golgotha. In the Bible they call it Golgotha. And the place of this particular skull was Goliath's skull. So that's supposed to have been like where Yeshua, that they call Jesus, was crucified. The cross basically was put in the land that underneath it was Goliath's head, which also speaks to when we went over in Veritas, how you'll always see how someone's foot, some constellation's foot, is crushing the head of something else. So I'm showing you the connection there. David slaying Goliath, buried his skull, and that same skull that's now being crushed by the foot of the Son of Man, supposedly Jesus, right? the reason why I'm saying the foot, because his feet are at the bottom portion of the cross, and that's still that imagery of, you know, what you see when you see certain people's constellations like Hercules or Ophiuchus stepping on the head of either a serpent or the sting of the scorpion, you know, things like that. They all go together, and it's there for your metaphysical edification for those that have ears to hear and eyes to see. I yield.
As soon as they had passed the city gates, they rushed upon him, smote him with their hands, they spit upon him, stoned him, and he fell upon the ground. And one, a man of Allah, stood forth and said, Isaiah said, he shall be bruised for our transgressions, and by his stripes we shall be healed.
Look at that. Quoting Isaiah, right? And that's true too. However, it's also it's dealing with things pertaining to Veritas also. And that astrolabe of the divine alphabet of 52 letters. Because remember, don't just let somebody tell you, oh, it's only 26 letters in the alphabet. How? When one's uppercase and one's lowercase, 2 times 26 is 52. And then when you look at how the alphabet is utilized with the zodiac according to Veritas, you guys will see that there are 52 major points in the zodiac that have been turned into Bible stories. Period. No, I don't deal with beliefs. All right, I'm not a fucking idiot. I only deal with knowledge. I only deal with geometry. Deal with astrology, 0 through 9, geometry, truth. Period. I don't have time to imagine stuff and have imaginary relationships. So when I'm putting these things together and saying them like I'm saying them, what I'm trusting is those of you that are sincere will go and research these things yourself. Yes, we have in our playlist, you go to 7 Hill Star, YouTube. I know you guys are here watching this now. When you can, click on the playlist buttons when you're here for 7 Hill Star and go and find the one that says Prophet Noble Drali and Veritas. Yes, it's 14 videos and it's worth binging. All right. Mother Sahar says, indeed, I am Damon the Great says terrible. And Mother Sahar says, gold doctor. I yield.
As Jesus laid all bruised and mangled on the ground, a high priest called out, Stay, you men. Behold, the God of Farad, come, and they will crucify this man.
Look at that. It just seems like somebody just keep passing on the means to further do this hurting, right? And I know people have been socially conditioned, especially by like Mel Gibson's The Passion and all this other stuff, to think that this is someone physically going through it. But this is why I refer ye all to the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary so you can comprehend what's happening metaphysically within every single one of you when you go through this pertaining to your consciousness tied to your endocrine system, to further assist one in properly using their will. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that or have to say it. However, that's what it is. Period. That's it. That's all. I yield.
And there beside the city's gate, they found Barabbas' cross. And then the frenzied mob cried out, let him be crucified. Matthias and the other ruling Jews came forth and gave consent.
You know what's funny about them allegedly taking Yeshua, right? Who's supposed to be like the manifestation pertaining to justice, on the cross meant for the bar fathers, the process fathers. And then it said that when this crucifixion happened, Yeshua fulfilled the law. The same law that couldn't be fulfilled by keeping it on the ministry of death written on stones, termed the 10 Commandments. However, all 10 of those commandments were fulfilled when justice was crucified on the process father's cross. Just want to make that connection. Think about that. Think about that. Does that mean that those that are just have to be scapegoated for those attorneys? So you telling me someone like I and my brothers, we go and put these writs together and we challenge these people rightfully by pointing them to their own law and stuff. The only way that now something can really happen for everyone else to do better is for us to fucking die. Because we were the ones that were talking. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Not at all.
It doesn't make any sense. Which means there's also a social engineering put out there on the people that think, well, in order for everybody else to do good, somebody gotta die. You're an idiot. So what's happening is that's a promotion of getting away with taking someone's life that you didn't help to bring to this planet. And now you're making a decision to take it away for scapegoatism? What? Why did you even do what you did? So you became a part of some corruption just so that you can get, I don't have to be accountable. Cool, I can do things and they'll blame it on someone else. That's the same thing that they did with the woman caught in adultery. You want to bring this woman to Yeshua. Say she was caught in the very act, but nobody brought the man that she was caught in the act with. I know I done told that story a couple times. How I really look at it. I look at it, those 4 guys that brought her to Yeshua because they wanted to stone her and stone him. I look at it as like they was G'ing her out, flat out, and she wasn't about to speak up because she thinks she about to die regardless, no matter what she said. So she can't be like, it was them, you know what I mean? Forcing me to have sex with them. The same ones that bring me talking about, what you want to decide on my life. I don't know why people ain't never really had these real conversations about the Bible with people, man. So many people are like, ooh, I'm going to get struck by lightning if I talk about it like that. Man, it's some of the most hood shit in the Bible, man. That if we really be honest with ourselves and pull that shit out and really look at it. Man, yo, hold on, yo. Like, these 4 dudes said they caught this very woman in the act of adultery, but didn't bring the man she got caught with. That's why I said it was G'ing her out. Smelling like fresh coochie juice. Talking about, what'd you say we do with her, Rabbi? But that's why Yeshua, he thought long and hard, and then he knelt down. Like he writing on the cobblestone road to say, I wrote those laws that Moses got for y'all. I wrote that law. And then so he writing on the ground, and he stood up and was like, well, he who is without sin cast the first stone. And then they started leaving from the oldest to the youngest, those that came to stone her. Because they was going to stone her, they was going to stone him. Because their whole plan was like, oh, dang, man, he messing up. How we getting our bread with holding these people under the yoke of the Mosaic law. And now he talking about, the law is being fulfilled and all that, man. That's messing up our pockets. Get your hand out my pocket, Malcolm. That's basically how they did in the story, if you really look at it like that. And get your emotions out of it. That this happened to some man 2,000 years ago. Even if it did, you need to see the metaphysics in it. Because that's the foundation of it, despite how it physically turned out. You know what I mean? You're right, Mother Sahar. Does not make sense. Truth does hurt, Damone, and Tyro's laughing. I mean, that's why I said, we just got to keep it real and really look at this stuff. Because a lot of people are being taken advantage of because you have somebody running some congregation in some building, temple, church, synagogue, mosque, whatever, and taking advantage of the people that don't know the metaphysics. And then you have Seven Hill Star, I and my brothers, and we come and share what we do freely on YouTube, and it's some of the least supported beings. We get some of the least support ever. When we get it, and we're thankful. We're thankful and grateful. Those of you that have donated, we're so grateful and so thankful. Please know it. Super grateful and thankful. However, no one, and I mean no one, is being this upfront as we are. No one's being upfront. Let's just say that. Because to say even this upfront means like we're giving some type of modified truth. No, man, like no. There's grand sheiks that won't say this stuff until they watch our videos first and try to adopt our thinking by practicing in the mirror the things we say until they think they comprehend, and then they try to share it in their lessons. That's most of your grand sheiks nowadays. They secretly watch Seven Hill Star. I know I sound like I'm being like all on myself and being self-centered, and no, I'm not. I'm not being cocky nor arrogant. That's what's actually happening. Because these people didn't speak with sense before we presented. Ever. There's very few that spoke with some sense. All the rest of them are probably intoxicated beings and do not utilize their intoxication in a proper fashion. Oh, let me transmute this intoxicated feeling that I've put myself under and then go in the spirit to pull out things that are beneficial for other people. No, they're more negative. They're less loving and more hateful. And the instruction is go back to the mindset pertaining to your ancient foremothers and forefathers so that your days may be long upon the earth land. And again, sorry, not sorry if I sound a certain way, guys. I really do see the beauty in what we have here, and there's just too many people out here that want to take charge of the situation. They want to write in all lowercase letters and call themselves Empress and Queen and have some Moorish American consulate, and they didn't follow instructions the first time. They didn't care to meet Prophet Noble Drowley in the literature. They only wanted to be able to help facilitate the finances for administration for when people send their documents to be witnessed or whatever, or get seals and stuff. So all these people wanted to do was just rob and steal. And I'm not talking about they're robbing and stealing from the prophet or from the temple. What they're doing is they're robbing and stealing from their own selves by thinking that they're doing something like, oh, I'm going to provide this documentation now, and I'll do the seals, and we'll do the witnessing, and now we're assisting RB Bey. And you guys are idiots. You were robbers the whole time. You were thieves, murderers. Just because it's not happening in the physical, you think, and it's not that you're in the spirit. It's, boy, some of y'all just don't know who some of us are. And when I say us, I'm meaning me first and foremost. We can see, nor do you know who we are in the spirit. And then I get it. Some people aren't going to like the way I say shit or how I sound. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, let's just be really clear. Your Moorish American Consulate people, your AMPAC people, your USAR people, all these people, your Moorish Science Temple of America, INC period people, all these people have robbed you. And they want to be some of the main ones that say that you're embezzling the faith. Go suck a dick. Seriously. No pause on that. Like, I mean it. Like, you people are out of order. Been out of order, and then when someone like myself speaks up, you want me to get stoned and crucified. Fuck is your problem? Like, and this is where we all need to be. I'm not saying we need to be angry and not loving. I'm saying at the same time, man, the temple is perfect because the prophet is perfect. Even though there are people in what they call temples doing maladministration, which means they remove themselves from office. They don't hold the office that they think they do. They think they're a grand sheik, a chairman, a sheik, a supreme grand governor, all these other things. They are not. Because their own conduct removed them from that office, despite the fact that they're under some delusion that they hold said office. It may sound like I'm rambling. I yield. Mother Sahar says, truth be told, exclamation point. I yield, Brother Sean. Islam.
And then they lifted Jesus from the ground, and at the point of swords, they drove him on.
The point of a sword, which is how most Moors, most people on this planet that aren't, really going towards being in their higher self, being in their spiritual consciousness, that's how they got to be driven towards their spiritual consciousness anyway, at the point of a sword. There's got to be some toughness that happens. Something hard. Oh, now I'll follow instructions now that this bad thing happened to me. I yield, bro. Islam.
They start out with some bars in this one. A man named Simon from Cyrene, a friend of Jesus, was near the scene. Oh.
Bars.
Bars. Koran bars. And
Uh-huh.
since the bruised and wounded Jesus could not bear his cross, they laid it on the shoulders of this man and made him bear it on to Calvary.
Look at that. Look at that. Somebody else. And it's not like he even wanted. It's not like, look, man, let me help you towards your death. It's like, man, how much of a burden of this can I take off of you? Even though these motherfuckers is going to do what they going to do. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. It is what it is. Mother Sahara's laughing, right? So with that being said, guys, questions, comments, and/or suggestions going once. What do you guys think? How do you guys think about, this so-called chapter and these so-called Jews who obviously are superstitious, murderers, supporter of murderers, inciters of riots to stone and hurt people? They don't want to take accountability for what they do. They want to find something else to magically possess another being. Let me possess you with all my sins, and then we beat you with it. Let me ask a question here. Let me ask a question. How do you cast all your sins into a scapegoat, and then when you're doing it, the way to get rid of it is for you to sin some more? Right? Is it thou shalt not kill? Right? Okay. I don't know. I might not be Jewishly intelligent or some shit. Let me think about it. So I did all this evil, and now I'm going to put it in something else. And then when I put it into something else, I got to do evil again? Oh, I get it. Hold on. Maybe I got to kill them because now they have all of my sins in them that I should have been killed for. That's what that sounds like to me. Who disagrees? That means that the people that means that a whole people should have been killed. But what they wanted to do was, in fact, in their minds, they're I'm gonna speak in some type of tongue, maybe, and then they're I'm going to transport this energy into you. I'm going to do this mystical possession and possess you with this, and I'm going to take on your goodness. Because that's what they would do with the lambs, right? They would slit the throat of the lambs, and the goodness of the lamb was supposed to go into them, right? And their sins were supposed to go into the lamb, and then they kill the lamb, right? That's when the slitting the throat of the lamb happened. So I did that out of order. But they're supposed to put their hand on the lamb, transfer the goodness and the negative. Y'all hear this abracadabra, hocus pocus bullshit? That's the superstition. You see what I'm saying? Hey, brother Star, peace of greetings. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, let's really, come on, y'all. Let's really be real. Like, am I thinking about this the wrong way? Because that's
Give
what
me
I'm
your
hearing.
good, and I'm gonna transfer you this evil.
What is that? I don't want your STD, your spiritually transmitted disease that you should have been killed for. No, that doesn't make, is that not making sense? Come on, man. Like, come on. Oh, but we're not talking about this in our little spiritual arenas. We're not talking about this at the synagogue or the church or the mosque or the temple. We're not talking, but there will be. Why? Because Seven Hills thought I did a presentation on it that people are going to watch and talk about behind our backs and say how imperfect we are with something I said today. But then they're going to still adopt my words and my thinking and then try to go teach it across the world. You're fucking welcome. Again, I comprehend why I'm here and what I'm doing. No matter how little the contributions are that come in, or the few. We're going to get through this Koran Devotional. And then I'll go and make it another playlist. We got to be real with ourselves, man. for real, we got to really be real with ourselves, man, and really look at the things that we're actually doing and stop trying to pretty it up. Oh, well, let me find a slick way of saying I'm actually doing this instead of this so that I can feel better about it and have less guilt. Man, don't get the fuck out of here, man. Seriously. Why play yourself? Questions, comments, and no suggestions going to sides.
It's like when your old lady mad at you, but she don't want to say sorry, but she do all those subtle things to try to be like, we're sorry. And it's like, you could just say sorry, right? You can just, actually speak on these things and be clear without trying to, kind of tiptoe around and stuff.
Might be too much right, man. Might be too much accountability that has to take place to do that. When myself personally, it's nothing sexier than honesty and accountability. I'm serious. At this age, nothing sexier than honesty and accountability. I promise you.
But that's me. Last time I seen a sexy accountable woman, I threw my drawers on stage. No, I'm joking, but yeah, that's definitely like man, it's like to really just when I do kind of just catch up on things I see on the internet, man, folks are just so cruel to themselves and so cruel and hateful towards each other, and it's like, yeah, I need just like. Yeah, they're so cruel and hateful. And it's like they just really don't know themselves. And we see how it is on here. Rather than doing that work for themselves, they rather put it on somebody else. And it's like, it don't work like that. And, as minds, men, women, we need to be accountable for what we think and do. Like, why is it okay to let people slide with things? Well, to let yourself slide with something is not right. Might nobody else know but you in your heart and that small still voice that is not right, but you still do it and put on to somebody else. Got to be accountable for it. The culture now is like you don't have to be accountable for things, and you see as it was back then. For the story back then. Oh, you do something, put it on somebody else. You'll be good. What sense does that make?
It doesn't make any sense at all. And then it goes to show, like, we're reading this book. Honestly, since we're free-born Master Masons and Eastern Stars and do not need to be made over again, which means we don't have to be in some lodge paying dues, quote unquote. We didn't have to do that. We don't have to have our tassels pinned down at 33 degrees because we're off the break 720, 360 here around my temple, 360 above. That's 720. 360 plus 360 is 720. And then my tassel flows freely. Yeah. This is where I say this is a Master Mason's book. Because I don't need to have anyone be a worshipful master over me for me to comprehend that which is already tied to my consciousness and endocrine system, because I will to utilize my will properly. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? We gotta really, I'm just an example of what we're supposed to be doing inside ourselves. You ain't got to feel guilty to do it. You ain't got to feel like somebody trying to press you to do it, like it's I'm forcing dogma belief system on you. It's not that. How long are you going to keep complaining about the conditions on the planet and then don't do anything opposite of seeing a different outcome pertaining to that mindset or what actually occurs on this planet?
It's like the story Brother Taj was like, one of his examples. He's like, there's a burning fire and someone's standing there like, why aren't you helping? And everyone's throwing water, and it's like, why don't you get water? Like, how you stand there and complain about a burning building and you're not even helping? You're just saying, hey,
correct.
Come on, yeah.
Correct. That's exactly what it's like. Instead of talking about the building burning down, why don't you help extinguish the fire? pretty sure a few of us can see that the building is burning, so it's not like we needed you to be Captain Obvious in the moment. You know, would have been much better to go, oh, let me grab this, you know, water. Something to extinguish this, right? Brother Derek Blash Bay says, gratitude, my brothers. I love how you all just keep it real, truthful. Islam, Brother Derek. And Mother Sahar says, yes, it does make sense. All right. Questions, comments, and their suggestions going thrice. Thrice. Trust we did some good here, guys. Right? Probably went a little longer than I wanted us to. However, I just felt in my spirit in that moment to really share what I share, knowing that there's, you know, other elders that, you know, you did the birthright thing. You declared and proclaimed your nationality, but you might be someone who's in a Moor Science Temple of America INC, or one of the 4 Moor Science Temple of America Grand Major Temple number 1s. I don't know how there's 4 number 1s. Maybe you're a part of that congregation. Maybe you're some elder who's overweight and have an overweight wife, and then you just talk shit on the internet. Or cool, that's you with your radical agitating and speeches at work, at home, and on the streets and on the internet. That's none of my business. At the end of the day, there are those of us out here who sees through that, and we comprehend that we are prophecy manifested. We are that young and yet unborn that are here to push you to the back. How did we do that? We made sure that we made our decisions to not be a part of your congregation, to not sit there and give our energy to you. That's how you're pushed to the back. You push people to the back by an election. Guess what we elected? To not fuck with you. Respectfully. And we know you're gonna do the old people thing. You're gonna gossip, you're gonna talk shit about us. Go right ahead, man. You know what I'm saying? Please talk the most feces out your mouth you can talk. Go right ahead. Because this is one thing I do know. When you think improperly about myself and my brothers, and then you go to follow up that with speech, the thought alone is going to bring something on you can't handle. And a lot of people have found out the hard way. We've done nothing physically, and people have had outcomes happen to them after they mistreated us some kind of way, in thought, deed, or action. We're not the ones. I'm telling you, it makes some people think that we are doing magic over here. We're not. We're just divinely protected, and the universe conspires in our favor. I'm telling you, we're the wrong ones to think anything wrong about. From however I sound, my voice, you don't like how I look, cool, whatever. You know, cool, doesn't matter at all. You can think whatever you like to think, and we're letting you know straight up, we're not the ones. Because we're doing everything we're supposed to do according to the instruction, not according to some dogma belief system. Period. We're not. Epic Studies, right? Brother Asari says 100, respectfully. Indeed, bro. Right? I mean, that's all we can do. Guys, we love you all. We're going to do our invocation out, termed the Moorish American prayer. We're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, the index, the middle, and the right. Brother Sean, is there any last questions, comments, and suggestions you had?
Nah, man, just share with your loved ones, you know, go do the studies and just take it day by day, you know, take one chapter or a couple words and study, you know, as long as you're just putting work in every day to study, you know, like things are going to lift off your shoulders. You're going to be able to start to comprehend more and more, and, you know, just have those thoughts, whether it's cold chills, you're like, why am I randomly thinking that? And you go search, you're like, I get it. You know, those aha moments. Just take your time, take your pace. But, you know, coming across this truth, you really can't go back to that other side, you know?
Correct.
It's like once you take off, all you can go is up. Why would you want to go back down?
Correct. That is absolutely correct. Mother Sahar says every thought is a seed planted, whether good or bad. Indeed. So let's do good, right? And Brother Hasan gives his 5 on the left, 2 on the right. We're going to do our invocation now, guys, right? Sincere gratitude, Brother Hasan and Brother Sean. Indeed, Mother Sahar. We're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. We're going to face east, which metaphysically denotes going within. We're going to stand with our feet on a 45-degree angle. And you can repeat after Brother Sean, either aloud or in the hearts. Islam.
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 Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen, right.
Amen. Indeed, guys. Enjoy your rest and recharge. When you go to rest and recharge, make sure you rest and recharge well. Catch us next day for Intuition Monday, tomorrow, right? Next day for Intuition Monday, and we go in on the natal chart pertaining to Zoe Kravitz. All right, we're going in on Zoe Kravitz natal chart. All right, you guys don't want to miss that. You'll see how we continue to chop up what we chop up. Guys, when we do what we do on YouTube, it is definitely not an exhaustive, process of things that we do. We're always giving you about a pinky nails clipping. And if you see what we give in a pinky nails clipping, you're like, that's a pinky nails clipping? How much more can they do? A lot, a whole lot. We could map out your whole year. I mean, there's one being, shout out to our beloved son of whom we're well pleased, right? Shout out to Jay, right? So he's got about 2-3 years in advance. And since that session of us, showing a couple years in advance, already things are happening for him. He's like, yo, I'm seeing according to these transits and according to those transits. Why? Because he's like, well, put my support here. 7 Hill Stars consistent. And we thank you. Seriously, because we get to exercise these things. And then I get to have conversations with my bros of how we go about it. All right. So with that being said, guys, we love you all. On behalf of 7 Hill Star, I'm Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey, Brother Sean Aline L. And on behalf of Brother Terrell Tamari Bey, Brother Corey Bey, and Brother R. Mwaba Bey, we'll see you all next day for Intuition Monday for the 27th. November 2023, where we go into the natal chart and knock it out pertaining to Zoe Kravitz. And with that, y'all, we yield the floors where we say we love you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and